Leo Ray's Rayon,
I'm Josh Glazer.
and this is the Rays and Glaze podcast. Today, we're going to finish up the NFC South, and we're going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, man, have a lot of holes, and you know, I mean, not it's weird. They do, but they don't. You know, what I mean, it's hard to explain. I don't know how you feel. I personally feel like they're gonna go safety. I think they need a safety, don't you?
Actually, no, but
Oh wow. All right. Well, what do you think they need?
yeah, I see them. They were third in offense
Mm-hmm.
and second in defense.
Mm-hmm.
They've picked 16, 47, and 78 in the top 100.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this is gonna. You're right about the pass defense. They definitely need to address that. But they have two guys in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal who are, when healthy, very rather good at their position, so they can kind of do their job.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really need to target corner
Mm-hmm.
because they lost Desmond Trufant. So they need a long corner. I could see them at 16 if Cj Henderson drops down there. They could see them going after him. Or they might even reach for a guy like Jalen Johnson. But
Mm-hmm.
if I were them personally, in terms of potential and where players are slotted and where you're going to get value, I think I would go edge rusher in the beginning. Because if you add to the pass rush, all it's going to do is make your secondary look better. And I think two guys that to keep your eyes on at 16 would be Calebon Chason
Right.
or Yetur Gross Matos. He may be a little high, but you look at what they did with Tack McKinley. They drafted him up a little bit because they were worried other people were going to – they seem to like those kind of big, explosive athletes that are lanky, kind of can fill in their body. They did it with Vic Beasley as well. And both guys kind of fit that. So if they add speed and they signed Fowler from that was originally with Jacksonville, then with the Rams,
Right.
gave him a lot of money for basically just taking advantage of Aaron Donald's triple teams, which is kind of a strange move, but I'm okay with it being a Saints fan. They want to spend money on that. But yeah, I could see them going edge, and then if they go corner in the second round, they have a different group of guys. But this draft is very deep at corner as well, especially in the middle rounds. In the second, third round, they can target a guy that we've mentioned over and over, and Bryce Hall, and a guy AJ Terrell that we've mentioned over and over.
Mm-hmm.
The third position that I see them focusing on is slot receiver / flex playmaker. They really haven't had a slot guy in quite a while. I can't really think of the last time they had a slot guy.
Taylor.
Who?
Do they play Taylor Gabriel outside or inside?
He was inside, but he wasn't that good for them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I would see them targeting a guy later in terms of slot. Someone explosive, some playmaker like a Lynn Bowden who played quarterback at Kentucky, but he also played everywhere else. A guy from Texas that you like, Devin Duvernay.
Oh, yeah, he's nice. Yeah.
Or Kalijah Lipscomb from Vanderbilt. Or I mentioned previously KJ Hill from Ohio State. There's a lot of little fast guys that you can target in this draft and kind of plug in and really take advantage of the fact that you have Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones on the outside, which is going to open up a lot of stuff, especially since they don't have a tight end anymore, which is another position that they probably need to look at.
Well, I think they got Hayden Hurst though. They just picked.
Yeah, they got Hayden Hurst, but who knows what he's going to be? He didn't do anything
true.
in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been in Baltimore more of a situation where he wasn't able to play due to just the dearth of the amount of people they had there already.
Mm-hmm.
The one other position I could see them targeting early or probably mid-round, maybe at 47, maybe at 78, is the interior offensive lineman.
Right.
They've always had issues with injuries, and also Alex Mack, the one guy that they've had consistently good for them, has been a guy that has kind of declined over the last couple of years and hasn't really lived up to his contract. He's 34 now. So it's probably time that you add in a guy that you feel comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
The offense I'm very sheepish about. I don't think everyone's talking about all these first round picks, blah blah blah. But you got Todd Gurley, who doesn't really run through tackles anymore because he's got one knee, unfortunately, because it seems to have arthritic issues in his knee. based on what I've heard. Then they have a guy, Brian Hill, who's replacement level running back, and Ito Smith, who's whatever.
Yeah.
Besides Julio, Calvin is pretty good. But they have two young guys at tackle. They have Jake Matthews, who's solid, and then they have the other side. They have McGarry and Lindstrom, who got hurt early at guard.
Yeah.
So it'll be McGarry's at tackle. Both those guys got hurt last year, and it seems to be kind of a thing that they keep going through, is where they lose guys on the offensive line. Maybe that's something to look at in terms of structurally in their organization. But that's kind of where I see them. I see them getting a bit of a bump. They're probably 8-8, 9-7, just based on the fact that the Panthers are going to be 4-12 and maybe worse. I mean, that's kind of where I don't see them beating the Bucks unless they really fix that secondary. And maybe they do. Maybe they draft Cj Henderson, and it finally gives them another corner to go over there. They're pretty solid in the slot with DeMonte Casey. In this case, I'm assuming that they stay healthy, but they don't stay healthy. So that's why I don't see a giant explosion. But if they stay healthy across the board, they have a high potential and a high upside on this team.
Right. So how many games do you pick them winning?
8-8, 9-7.
8-8, 9-7. Man, it's so hard because I have to pick like which one of those top three teams in y'all division is gonna be the bad one. You know what I mean? And so I guess like I want to.
There was only one bad one last year. That's the thing.
Yeah. True.
So maybe it's a situation where you got
3-10 win teams.
Or the Panthers may win like 2 games because the other 3 teams are playing at a high level.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I agree. I think I'm gonna say 8-8, but I think that they have the potential to win 10 games. I agree, man. Like, I mean, personally, like, I don't think it's not. Obviously, I know Keanu Neal is a great player. Ricardo Allen is a great player. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of feel like Keanu Neal plays better closer to the line. But I mean, obviously, like, he's a good player. He could play.
Well, he's Cam Chancellor. He's a cover 3. Cover 3 safety, and that's what they run. They still run it, which is probably a bigger problem because they don't have the corners to run it, but Dan Quinn's not going to change.
So here's the thing, though, like, just off top, though, like, do you think Grant Delpit would make sense playing free safety for them?
Sure, but I think he's better closer to the line.
Closer to the line, right.
Which is the issue. They already have 2 guys that are really good close to the line, and Casey and Keanu Neal.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I mean, sure they could add another guy, and he'll end up playing a lot because someone else will get hurt. But
yeah, who knows?
I think they're more likely to get a guy trade back into the first for a guy like Christian Fulton before they draft.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. I don't.
Yeah, I see.
They don't have a guy. They don't have a space for a joker like that.
Right. True. Yeah, I like Devin Duvernay. Hook 'em horns. All right, so we have them going about 8-8. Y'all like, sub, and subscribe. Like, sub, and share. And we'll get back to y'all with some more stuff probably tomorrow. All right, y'all. This is the Raising Glaze podcast, and we're out.
Y'all take care. Stay healthy.
Yep.